Welcome back to T+O+M Talks. It's October. It's a very dreary, rainy day outside, but that's not going to perturb our spirits. I'm very, very happy to introduce to the T+O+M followers Chris McCullagh, who's been with us for almost 5 months.
Absolutely.
Who has joined a predominantly, actually an entrenched financial services recruitment business. And Chris has come on with the heady task 5 months ago to start what we call in the recruitment industry a commerce and industry offering out of T+O+M Executive. This must have been incredibly daunting given there was no real platform in the beginning. And part of me is wondering, Chris, why you said yes?
So from a personal perspective, what surprised me is how long it took to say yes. For me, getting my head around the move on the whole was a big deal. But coming to a entrenched business of any kind was a big advantage, particularly one with such strong and deep networks within the industry in which they operate in. So one thing I think we both saw was that cross-pollination across industries has been present for the last 12 to 18 months, mainly due to the rise of technology. And there's a market out there that's positive, so now seems as good a time as any.
Your team is 4 strong.
Yes.
They've been with you since the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
When we spoke about actually bringing that type of team together,
Yep.
Why was it, with regards to certain skill sets and certain offerings,
Mm-hmm.
why was it designed? I mean, you gave a lot of input into it.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you design it as such?
The focus initially on accounting and finance, I think, feeds into kind of the history of T+O+M very well, but it's an established area that I'm very comfortable with, from a qualified level all the way through to hiring CFOs. We also had some pre-existing team members who are chartered accountants from the Big Four, so that made sense to put them in a zone that they'll be comfortable in. In addition, we have strategy, which is over the course of the last couple of years been a real kind of candidate short market. So it was a good opportunity for us to use as a door opener to those clients that are forward thinking and likely to engage in outsourced recruitment. So we've seen both of those areas gain very strong traction very quickly. One, because of our strong skill set, and two, because it's a highly relevant market.
Hailing from the UK originally, but
Yes.
You've been here for 8 years.
Absolutely.
Married an Australian.
Partnered with an Australian.
Partnered
yes.
with an Australian.
Not
two
yet married.
young children.
Yes, unfortunately our twins beat us to the marriage punch.
You've obviously been involved with other recruitment businesses.
Yes.
And have been entrenched in obviously that commerce and industry accounting space for a while.
Mm.
With what you've seen at T+O+M,
Mm-hmm.
and taking the best of, let's call it the old world, and trying to, I suppose, staple that to the new world that you find here, what have you found either different or new with regards to the old versus the new, and what you're hoping to achieve going forward?
I think we're in a moment in time where all of our commercial client base is going through a challenge of trying to prepare themselves for some industries the current state, but for most industries the future state. Some clients are further along that journey, and what I've observed is that, funnily enough, actually banks are probably further along that journey than anyone else. But the role of a CFO, particularly nowadays, covers the finance, the strategic, and also the technology. So we're consistently taking briefs from clients, either for CFOs who can drive the future of finance, so minimise the amount of time that backward-looking activity is taking, whether that's through automation, outsourcing or offshoring, and then using the reduction in that headcount to further invest in a commercial, insights-driven finance function that actually drives the business forward. It's important that they're able to either partner with strategy or actually drive strategy themselves. So that's everything from strategic planning through to execution, which is so on the journey of planning, development, and execution. You have either transformation or M&A activity that comes out of those decisions, and then from a technology perspective, utilising systems and modern technology to make sure they're interfacing with their internal and external stakeholders in the best way possible, and have live information that gives them up-to-date information on how their business is performing internally and how their customer behaves externally. That's all tied together with data, which any company, from small businesses with cloud-based software through to the biggest organisations in our client base, have much more capability to gather. So the story for them is, how do we manage it, how do we protect it, and then how do we leverage it once we have it, which is the big challenge for any business now.
So, as mentioned, almost 5 months in.
Yep.
If you could crystal ball and sort of kind of perfect what you'd like to achieve in the next 7 months, so we look at or the next 12 months,
yep.
What needs to be done? Where are you on, I suppose, the evolution of this desk?
So the first thing for me in our first 12 months was taking on board the one of the key values of Tom, which is delighting customers. So first things first, obviously we want to get work and drive revenue, but the key thing is to make sure that that's done by delighting our customers, whether that's clients or candidates. So for me, my role, one of the priorities in my role is to make sure that we're consistently taking feedback to, one, hear that we are delighting our customers, and where we may have gaps, we're getting that feedback so that we can fill them. With regards to what I mentioned before, the second priority for me is to make sure that we're building out the team and our capabilities to make sure there are no gaps in our ability to deliver on the challenges that our clients are facing. So whether that's in the traditional finance world, particularly within finance transformation, in the strategy world, whether that's M&A focused or strategy development focused, or indeed transformation. And then from a technology perspective, cybersecurity, data and analytics, and again, IT and technology-based transformation. So the priorities: make sure that we're delighting our customers, and two, there are no gaps in what we're able to deliver.
Terrific. Well, all I can say, Chris, is the 5 months has gone like a whirlwind, and it's been almost a seamless introduction. And personally, not knowing a whole lot about the commerce industry and the individual subsectors within it, mm-hmm. I've been absolutely surprised and almost mesmerised, to say, since look at the success that we've had and how well, I suppose, the client base has received that whole sort of nexus of technology and finance and data, mm-hmm. and almost, as you said in the beginning, it's almost an industry agnostic conversation these days.
Absolutely. And the most exciting thing is that in telling the story that we've been telling, the reaction from our pre-existing clients and our new clients has been the same. A lot of people are very excited about what we're able to offer.
Well, that's it, everybody. Thank you very much again for watching T+O+M Talks. That was Chris McCullagh. We'll have an update, I'm certain, in another few months' time to give you a bit of insight into what sort of access there is to candidates in that sector, and obviously what kind of talent clients could find in the broader scope that now Tom has to offer. So thanks very much. Look forward to seeing you next time on T+O+M Talks.